has been growing rapidly in recent years. More than 2,500 people actually turned up to watch the competition in central Finland. Riders, almost all girls, aged mostly between 10 and 18, competed in disciplines that simulate traditional equestrian events like dressage and show jumping. The vast majority, I can't watch the video, yeah, right? The vast majority of the hobby horses are homemade, splendidly pimped up. I did not write that. Colorful creatures exchanged and sold by owners at events and through social media.
I bet it's harder.
Susan.
I think that's Eric, actually.
Thanks for filling in today.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Mark will be back tomorrow. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, the man in charge of the Warriors and Wizards Festival in Jefferson facing a theft charge after claims that he wrote bad checks to businesses and the city.
Senior citizens at an area apartment complex continue without air conditioning. We'll tell you why as warmer weather draws near.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. The founder of the Harry Potter Festival that turned into the Warriors and Wizards Festival in Jefferson is now facing a lawsuit from the city and a felony charge for theft.
The city of Jefferson still has not been paid for all of the work done to put on the festival. Amanda Quintana is just back from Jefferson with the details. Amanda?
Yeah, well, it's been 8 months since the Warriors and Wizards Festival in Jefferson. Now we're learning the main organizer and founder still owes money to the city and could face 10 years in prison for defrauding businesses.
It was the decorating of the building, inside and out. Just tons of product for expecting people come through.
Bonton Bakery was one of many Jefferson businesses that went all out for the Harry Potter Festival in 2017. Then again when the event changed its name to the Warriors and Wizards Festival last year. But despite the confidence of founder Scott Kramer,
see how it's going. It's amazing.
There was a lack of magic this time around, not just without the big name. Way less people attended, talent pulled out, saying Kramer was dishonest, resulting in places like Bonton losing business.
I think he was totally over his head. I don't think there was enough involvement. I think he tried to handle too much on his own, and it just got out of control.
John Radke says about 3 weeks before the festival, he had a feeling it wouldn't go right, hearing contractors weren't getting paid. Now he's not surprised that Kramer, along with his company HP Fans Inc., is facing a lawsuit from the city and a felony theft and false representation charge.
I feel bad for him because I really feel as though he was like a little kid that had a dream, and no matter what, he was going to make it come true.
According to court documents, Kramer agreed to pay the city back $25,000 it contributed ahead of the festival to defray marketing costs, on top of paying for fire, police, and public works services. That was due in December, and he still has a $33,000 bill. A criminal complaint shows checks he wrote to 8 businesses, including hotels, a bus company, and the fairgrounds, all bounced. Documents saying he knew the funds weren't there. As for Radke, he's out almost $1,000. A subcontractor owes him for catering the festival, but he knows he won't get it.
Oh, we've recovered from it, but I mean, it's a loss that's going to be there. And it burns.
He says it's going to take a lot to make that bad taste the Warriors and Wizards Festival left disappear.
If we want to create another festival, there's going to be a lot of negative feelings about it, and it's not going to happen quite as easily because of that.
Scott Kramer did not return our request for comment, and the Jefferson City Administrator said they won't discuss the lawsuit until it is resolved. Now, many of the businesses who ended up getting checks that did bounce, some tell me that they were paid. Kramer's attorney reached out to make those payments months after the checks came back for insufficient funds.
Amanda, thank you.
A Madison man suspected of dealing drugs is facing multiple charges after drugs were found in his home last week. Police say 28-year-old Anthony Nance was pulled over on the West Beltline near Stoughton Road Thursday. Shortly after his arrest, a search warrant was served on his apartment in the 3800 block of Whitman Lane. Police say heroin, cocaine, and marijuana with a combined street value of more than $100,000 were seized from that home. More than $5,700 in cash, cell phones, digital scales, and other items were also seized. Nance now facing multiple counts, including 4 counts of delivery of heroin and maintaining a drug trafficking place. A Wisconsin summer without air conditioning, it is a reality some senior citizens on Madison's west side are facing right now.
The city set a deadline for the Prairie Park senior apartments to fix the AC, but as Rose Schmidt is here to explain, the apartment complex failed to meet the deadline. Rose?
Yes, last Thursday at midnight. That's the deadline that they were supposed to meet to fix that air conditioning, but according to the city's building inspection division. But the property management company says it won't be repaired until at least the first week in July. City building inspectors are evaluating the situation right now to see if they'll take enforcement action against Prairie Park, such as a ticket. They want to know when the apartment complex first became aware of the problem. You may remember seniors at Prairie Park had to be evacuated following historic flooding last fall. Jeff Engel, who has COPD and heart problems, tells me this AC issue is the last straw.
When it gets really, really hot like that, I get short of breath. And if you've ever talked to anybody that has that problem, when you go to breathe and you can't bring anything in, it's a terrifying experience.
Jeff says the apartment complex did provide a portable air conditioner to him after his family complained, and that the building has been offering a cooling station and popsicles to people who live there. The property management company tells me they've known about this problem for less than 3 weeks. They expect the coil replacement to start the first week in July, and it will take 2 to 3 days to install. It requires a crane, but officials with the apartment complex say they're working to minimize disruption for residents. And we'll hear from the city at 6.
Well, thank you, Rose.
All right, so the forecast becomes an issue for those folks in particular. We've had the cooler weather, but what's ahead? We turn to Gary Canalti with the latest on that. Gary?
Well, Eric, the average high temperature is 80 degrees, and we'll be below that for this week, but it looks like we'll be back to around 80 by the weekend and in the 80s for next week. Visible cloud track shows that we've had some sunshine through the afternoon, but some clouds are coming in from the west. We'll turn partly cloudy for tonight. There are some showers and thunderstorms to our west, but notice how they're really starting to fall apart as they push eastward from southeastern Minnesota into parts of northeastern Iowa, and I don't expect those to reach us. Current temperatures are pretty comfortable right now, 74 in Madison. It is cooler near Lake Michigan. Temperatures there in the 60s thanks to a lake breeze. By tomorrow morning, we'll be in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies overnight. Tomorrow, look for skies to turn cloudy. There is a chance for a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon with a high of 77. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Man is facing charges after he allegedly attacked a man at Madison Park Saturday morning. Madison police say 58-year-old Gary Troutman Jr. was at Brittingham Park when he began yelling at a couple he did not know. Police said Troutman had been drinking and accused them of calling the police on him. They say a 31-year-old man walking his dog nearby saw Troutman kick a 69-year-old man in the face. The Good Samaritan then tackled Troutman to the ground. The citizen did suffer some minor injuries. Troutman was booked into the Dane County Jail on tentative charges of aggravated battery against an elderly person, battery, and disorderly conduct.
2 people in Columbia County are facing multiple drug-related charges and child neglect charges. The Portage Police Department served a search warrant at a home in the 300 block of East Cook Street after a lengthy drug investigation. Police seized a large amount of marijuana, suspected ecstasy, THC oil, scales, cash, and drug paraphernalia, and 2 loaded handguns. 37-year-old Christopher Denman Sr. and 43-year-old Lisa Lukashevitz, both of Portage, were arrested. Police also said a 17-year-old Portage boy was ordered into court on drug-related possession charges.
There were 3 reports of road rage incidents involving a gun this past week alone in Madison, but police say there's no reason to believe any of them are connected. 2 of the cases were reported to Madison police earlier last week. 1 reported to UW police after a driver flashed a gun at the UW Arboretum on Saturday. Police say they often receive reports where 2 drivers are involved in a road rage incident and one of them flashes a gun. No one has been shot in any of those situations. Police say to avoid a road rage incident, drivers should take a deep breath and not engage or express anger with other drivers. This just in from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Police in Kenosha are investigating the death of a 5-year-old boy who was dropped off at a hospital after he had been shot. Police say the shooting happened before 2 this afternoon at a residence in Kenosha. Authorities got a call from staff at Frederick South Hospital, Kenosha campus, after 2 people dropped off the boy and then simply left. Police say the investigation is still very active.
Teachers at Lowell Elementary School are calling on the Madison School Board to not cut special education teachers. In a letter the staff sent to the board, they said the possibility of cutting special ed staff is hindering the safety of the students. They also say they are unable to provide the legally required special education support to the students. Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6, we will hear from one special ed teacher and what the district is saying in response.
Democratic Governor Tony Evers signaling he does not support Republican moves to raise car registration fees in the state budget. The governor's budget called for an additional $624 million in transportation funding, covered in part by raising the gas tax by 8 cents per gallon. The Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee scrapped his plan earlier this month and replaced it with their own language that would raise title fees by $95 and car registration fees by $10. Governor Evers said he is waiting to see what changes the full legislature makes to the budget. He did not say if he would use his partial veto powers to change the GOP proposal.
Governor Evers, along with LGBTQ members of the Wisconsin state legislature, are celebrating the inaugural Pride Month at the Capitol. LGBTQ plus members are calling on lawmakers to draft legislation that protects members of the community. State Representative Mark Spreitzer says although Wisconsin has come far, there is still a long way to go.
It is my hope that with this day, we not only recognize the celebration of pride that LGBTQ people have across Wisconsin this month, but that we make a difference in the life of at least one LGBTQ person whose journey to pride is not yet complete.
The pride flag at the state capitol will be raised over the east wing of the Capitol building until Sunday, June 30th.
In an effort to address the affordable housing crisis, Habitat for Humanity of Dane County is proposing its biggest project yet. The nonprofit looking to take 62 acres of land near Town Hall Drive and Highway 19 in eastern Dane County and turn it into 48 houses for families in need. This will be the biggest amount of land this branch has used after having already built 289 homes in Dane County. Habitat for Humanity meets with prospective families at quarterly informational meetings and listens to the needs of those families.
We continually talk to those families. What are you looking for? What schools do you want to be in? What kind of homes do you need? And we're continually trying to keep up with the trends that families are looking for to meet their needs.
Proximity to childcare, bike paths, transportation, schools, and grocery stores are all considerations in choosing housing locations. The houses won't be built until next year, but housing applications are currently being accepted.
Starting today, Buckeye Road on Madison's east side will shut down for some much-needed upgrades. Buckeye between Monona Drive and Stoughton Road is closed until November as crews repave the road and make a number of other changes. The troubled road wasn't touched for years because the city and county didn't come to an agreement on how to split the cost of construction until this spring.
It kind of looks like a rural road right now. There's no bike markings, no safety markings, pedestrian marks. On some side, there's no sidewalk even. So this is something that's needed an upgrade for quite some time, especially since there is no storm sewer.
The city has marked alternative routes. For a list of bus stop changes, go to our website, channel3000.com.
There's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, fashion designer Gloria Vanderbilt has died at the age of 95. What her son, Anderson Cooper, is saying about it.
The Toronto Raptors NBA championship celebration was cut short after 2 people were shot near the parade. We'll have the very latest.
On Wall Street, the Dow opening the week with a 23-point climb. The Nasdaq up 48. The S&P 500 adds a few. We'll be right back. Designer and socialite Gloria Vanderbilt has died. She was 95 years old.
Born in 1924, her father, Reginald Vanderbilt, was heir to the Vanderbilt fortune. At the age of 10, she was dubbed the poor little rich girl as the result of a custody battle between her mother, Gloria Mercedes Vanderbilt, and her aunt. She later became known for her work as an actress and designer, and best known for her brand of designer jeans. The mother of CBS contributor and CNN news anchor Anderson Cooper, the two appeared together in New York in 2016 at the premiere of Nothing Left Unsaid, a documentary exploring Vanderbilt's life and relationship with her children.
When my mom turned 91, I decided, I want to change the conversation that we have. I want there to be a new way that we talk and relate to each other and learn about each other.
In a statement from CNN, Cooper remembered his mother as a painter, writer, designer, remarkable mother, wife, and friend, adding she was 95 years old, but ask anyone close to her, and they'd tell you she was the youngest person they knew, the coolest and most modern.
2 people were injured during a shooting near the Toronto Raptors NBA championship celebration. Police say 2 people are now in custody after the incident at Nathan Phillips Square. Police say the victims' injuries are serious but not life-threatening. 2 firearms were recovered at the scene. Toronto police are continuing to investigate.
Phoenix's mayor and police chief are apologizing after video of a tense confrontation between police and an African-American family in Arizona. Police say they were responding to a report of shoplifting in Phoenix. Dravon Ames and Aisha Harper say they were not aware their 4-year-old daughter had taken a doll from a Family Dollar store. A package of underwear was also allegedly taken.
I thought he was going to shoot us. I'm just trying to protect my family, and I felt like being calm with someone who's ready to shoot me is the best way out of that situation to make it alive so we can survive it.
This is not what 2,900 officers in the city of Phoenix are about. We're all angry about this. We're all upset about this. This is not what should be happening.
Phoenix police say the department is opening an investigation after video was released by a bystander. The couple has filed a $10 million lawsuit against Phoenix police alleging civil rights violations and police brutality.
Let's get a look at your first alert weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us with your forecast. Gary?
After a cloudy weekend, we had some sunshine today. You can see temperature on the visible cloud track right now that there has been some clearing, especially for areas north of Madison. Southern parts of the viewing area getting some blow off from thunderstorms well to the south. And then out to the west, there's also some thunderstorms that have been moving across Iowa and Minnesota. But those are weakening pretty rapidly as they push toward the La Crosse area. You can see some lightning and thunder in the Rochester, Minnesota area. But as this area over the last 3 hours moves eastward, you can see the eastern edge just kind of eroding away. And I was just taking a look at some of the computer model forecasts, and the rain really doesn't even get to the La Crosse area before it fizzles out. So not expecting any rain for tonight, but we might see a chance for a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. Now, not much rain expected over the next couple of days, but as we head into the latter part of the weekend and into next week, there'll be some shower and thunderstorm chances. Not an all-day type thing. I mean, it'll be one of those situations where some people don't get any rain at all. Others get a heavy downpour for a small period of time, and then the showers and storms move on. But over the next 10 days, we're looking at about 1.5 inches to about 2.5 inches of rain over the that time period from the computer model. So again, we could use more dry weather than wet weather, but at least it's more typical summertime weather that we'll be looking at. Live here from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville and the WISC Skycam here on the west side of Madison, showing partly cloudy skies. You can see some patches of blue mixed in with the clouds, but those clouds have held down temperatures. The average high temperature is 79. High temperature today, 74, low of 54, pretty close to the average of 57. And right now we're sitting at 74 degrees. Winds out of the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. The humidity at 59%. Dew point also at 59 degrees. Temperatures a little cool for June. Up in northern Wisconsin, only 54 in Superior, near Lake Michigan, Milwaukee at 63, Chicago at 64. But inland temperatures are mainly in the 70s, closer to 80 once you start getting over parts of central Iowa. There's actually a weak cold front to our north and west. And while dew point temperatures getting up to around 60, even into parts of southern Minnesota, notice those dew points dropping off to the north and west. So a cold front will come through tomorrow and actually, it's late tomorrow into tomorrow night, and drop our temperatures by a few degrees for Wednesday. You can see
see the shift in the winds here to the northwest. Right now, our wind's pretty light just because there's no big storm system around. But if you look at Weather Track, you can see the showers and thunderstorms out west becoming a little more numerous here, starting to get some moisture. We call it the monsoon flow that starts to move into the southwestern part of the country this time of year. But notice the main part of the jet stream staying to our south, so that's keeping the bulk of the more persistent rains farther to the south. Then this cold front generating a few showers and thunderstorms, but not a lot of really active weather with it. Behind it, though, temperatures do cool off by a few degrees. The warm weather is out ahead of it, but you don't see any really warm weather either. I mean, this is mid-June. We're not seeing any 90s on the weather map anywhere around the Midwest, but we are seeing dew point temperatures in the 60s to around 70 as far north as Indianapolis. So that's where the more persistent rains will be over the next few days. Forecast for tonight calls for skies to be partly cloudy. It'll be comfortable. Low temperature dropping to around 55 degrees, but tomorrow will turn cloudy. There's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon with a high temperature of 77 degrees. On Future Track, partly cloudy skies tonight. Again, so showers out to the west falling apart before they reach Wisconsin until early tomorrow morning. Then as we head through the day tomorrow, you can see a chance of showers and thunderstorms, so they're pretty widely scattered. Not everybody's seeing them at any given time. High temperatures upper 70s. Those will move out tomorrow evening. We'll see temperatures upper 50s tomorrow night. And then another chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly south of Madison on Wednesday. High temperatures will be in the middle 70s. Rainfall amounts probably between about just above 0 to around 1/10 of an inch of rain over the next couple of days. 7 to 10 day forecast, though. Once we get to the weekend, temperatures will be back to around 80, and that trend will continue through next week with some off and on shower and thunderstorm chances, but no day looks to be a washout at this point. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, the Beltline, not looking very good over at Park Street. We're seeing delays in both directions. There's some construction going on, especially around Todd Drive and also back towards Stoughton Road. So pretty slow delays on the Beltline, both directions, right around between Fish Hatchery Road and Monona Drive. Right now, 24 minutes on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 19 minutes back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, almost 40 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. Some construction delays around Janesville. Then 19 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 and 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert Traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Ahead at 5, camp season is here. We'll share new recommendations for families sending their kids to camp this summer. Welcome back. About 14 million kids attend camps every summer.
Now the American Academy of Pediatrics is releasing a new report aimed at keeping kids safe and healthy at camp. Hillary Lane has details.
It's a quiet morning at Camp Alvernia in Centerport, New York. But in a few weeks, hundreds of campers will be here.
We'll have people sign in and out on this.
Camp director Ben Esposito and his staff have been preparing for months. And this year, with the recent measles outbreak, proof of vaccination is mandatory.
We've had some families that have said, okay, we're going to go and get the MMR vaccine. We've had other families that have said, you know what, I'd like a refund, and we're gonna find a different place.
A new American Academy of Pediatrics report on summer camp health and safety recommends campers be immunized on schedule and that camps eliminate non-medical exemptions for vaccines. The report also highlights allergic campers know how to use their EpiPens and that medical devices be easily accessible.
We have to have an emergency plan in place for treatment for anything that might possibly happen. So we do have an AED on site. Certain types of medications we keep under double lock. Only trained medical staff can access them and administer those medications.
The American Camp Association says families need to do their homework before sending kids off for the summer. That starts with making sure a camp is accredited and regulated.
There's in fact loopholes in different states that allow camps to operate with no licensure. It means that there's no background checks being done on staff. It means that there's no medical plans in place.
The report also says parents should pick a camp that matches their child's interests and skills so they have a happy and healthy camper. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Centerport, New York.
And stay with us for one final check of your forecast.
Things warming up gradually here.
Yeah, we got to get past this week and get rid of some of the clouds before we can see a more significant warm up. See some showers and storms out to the west, but they will fizzle out long before they reach us. Temperatures right now pretty comfortable, generally in the 70s across our viewing area. Look for highs in the 70s through Friday with some chances for showers and thunderstorms, but no all-day rains in there. And then next week we'll hit that 80-degree mark and probably stay there for a while.
That'll be good.
See you in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.